When you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate. Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure? Oh.
What's the story, NXT fans? Wow, what a show. Tonight's topics on the Wrestle story are Ricochet and Aleister Black say goodbye to NXT.
Pete Dunne's 675-day reign, title reign that is, comes to an end.
Johnny Gargano is the new NXT champion.
All that and more coming up on the Wrestle story.
Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT. And tonight we are streaming because NXT TakeOver was awesome.
It was. So we will be back. We are obviously here right now, recapping the events from TakeOver, and then we will be back tomorrow for Hall of Fame, and then on Sunday we will be back to recap WrestleMania. I'm super excited and very curious to see what happens going forward over the next few days.
It is going to be tough to top what happened tonight. This was an awesome card.
I agree.
You know, this is the way all their pay-per-views, this is the way all their shows should go.
Yeah.
This was, you know, like I said, this was awesome. No doubt about it.
It was. So, with that being said...
Make sure you subscribe.
Yes, make sure to subscribe.
Hit the bell so you get notified when we go live.
The bell thingy-madoodle.
Hit that bell thingy-madoodle.
So, first off, there was some news that was released right before TakeOver started. And that news would be that Kushida from New Japan... formerly from New Japan, has signed with NXT.
Yes. Big name coming from Japan.
Crazy. Let's hope they use him correctly.
I kind of was shocked, you know, to hear the news just because...
I wasn't necessarily shocked just because I had heard a lot of rumors that he would potentially be there or be signing with NXT. And I saw those just last night. Like, a whole bunch of stuff blew up saying, hey, Kushida might appear at TakeOver and or sign with WWE.
I think it's a big get for WWE. Other than maybe going for the money, I don't know why Kushida would sign with them at the way they've kind of treated their Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, you know, hopefully they'll treat him better than they have Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka.
Yeah.
And maybe Asuka and we'll get a push, and Shinsuke Nakamura might get something down the road.
Maybe.
But we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. So, that's the big news. And then we have NXT TakeOver card. Like we said, really great pay-per-view, amazing matches. And so, with that being said, let's hop right into it. So, the first match that they had is the Tag Team Championship match. The War Raiders, who are the champs, versus Ricochet and Aleister Black. Amazing job to Ricochet and Aleister Black. I want to give them that, first and foremost. They did an amazing job.
It was an amazing job by both of these teams.
It really was. And the crazy stuff that the War Raiders were doing, flips off the top rope and stuff like that you don't normally see big guys doing, props to them for being okay, we'll do it. Why not?
Well, Ricochet and Black we expect it from, and the War Raiders we haven't seen in a while. But, this match was, outstanding throughout the entire match was awesome. It kind of
open the show, it was
the tone for the show.
It was a good match to open the show with.
Outside of, and none of the matches were bad.
No.
They were all pretty awesome.
They were.
I just, I wish that, based on the way it went, I wish this tag team match would have been later in the evening, right before the Adam Cole and Gargano match. Mm-hmm. But, I guess they kind of got the crowd into it.
Hello! How's it going? Lit.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? Did you enjoy TakeOver? Because we enjoyed TakeOver. It was, an amazing pay-per-view. So, you picked War Raiders to win. Wow, that's, hard to say. It's like a tongue twister. War Raiders? War Raiders.
Yes, good job.
You picked War Raiders.
Yes.
Yo.
We remember.
Yep.
We know who you are.
You changed your name. Lip Vines, because, it was
an awesome show.
Amazing
I think this was one of the best pay-per-views that, I've seen. Or not really a pay-per-view, so to speak. It's
TakeOver.
Yeah, I don't know what
of the two takeovers that you've seen recently, you prefer this one over the last one.
I think this is one of the best pay-per-views I've seen.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they had everything. They kept the show going. The storylines were awesome. It was energetic the whole way through.
It was. I felt like they started off with a banger of a match. They ended, I was home alone, and I'm not going to lie, I was doing the Adam Cole baby thing in my living room. I'm not going to lie, I was too, so Adam Cole, baby! And then I was doing this thing.
And then the little one was going, baby.
Yeah, I go, Adam Cole, baby, and he goes, baby. It's really funny. I'll have to film it.
Yeah,
put it on Twitter. So yeah, amazing pay-per-view. And like I said, they started off with an awesome match, and they ended with a really great match. And I like the way they ended the show, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Tag Team Championship, War Raiders versus Ricochet and Black. You picked the War Raiders to win, and I picked Ricochet and Black because I was like, they got to win one of the 2 days. And War Raiders ended up retaining, which I'm completely fine with. I just picked Ricochet and Black because I was like, well, I said they got to win on one of the 2 days. They could walk into WrestleMania with the NXT Tag Team Championships, but after the match, what they did means no, they're not going back to NXT. They are done for good. They did their goodbyes, and it was all emotional and stuff, and Ricochet was crying, and Aleister Black was crying, and they did their whole bowing to the crowd and, waved, and we were like, thank you.
All 4 of these guys, if they use them right, will be stars on the main roster.
It was a great match. I didn't think they would stay in NXT, so I figured they would lose. Yeah, I just said Ricochet and Aleister Black because I was like, well, I'll be right one of the two times. I'll either be right on Sunday or I'll be right on Friday. And I was not right on Friday. So I'm hoping they win on Sunday. Cross your fingers, but we'll see.
Well, we'd also talked about the possibility of doing some cross-promotion matches where
Yeah.
You would have people coming down to NXT that are up on the main roster, and
yeah, but I don't. They're not.
They're
not going back to NXT. You won't see them on NXT again.
Well, I don't think you'll see them other than maybe in like a special appearance or something like that. They're not going to be.
No.
They're going to be on the main roster.
Yeah.
And like I said, all 4 of these guys right now, I think, could be main roster guys if they used them right.
It's either going to be the Usos or Ricochet and Aleister. Yeah, you actually went with the Usos, and I went with Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Yes.
Like I said, cross your fingers, hope that they win on Sunday. Quite honestly, after watching them tonight, and just the way they finished, and how they're both going up on... They're both going to be on the main roster together, and they're doing this tag team thing. I'm not going to lie, I kind of now want them to stay a tag team. You guys can shoot me later, but I kind of want to see them stay as a tag team.
I think they've developed together as a team, so they look better now than they did when they first started as a team.
I really do. I think I do want to see them stay as a tag team for right now. They work really well in the tag team division at this moment in time because they don't have a whole bunch of tag teams, and I understand people are like, oh, well, I'd much rather see them work them individually and put them in other matches, but, like, it works right now, and I like it, so don't mess with it.
Well, and they've developed together. Like I said, they developed together, so it's there's no way they can split them up right now just because the tag team division is not real good, I don't think, and they bring something to the table with the tag team now.
They do. So, you won that prediction.
Yes, and I love the ending. I loved how they ended it with Ricochet and Aleister Black basically, giving their goodbye.
Yeah, I like that too. So, yeah, you won the first battle of predictions.
Yes. You're
one step closer to that, me buying you a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
I don't think that they will book them good as singles
competitors.
I don't either. Yeah, that's why, quite honestly, they should just stay tag team for right now. Later on in the future, they can split them up, but like I said, they're working really well together as a tag team, and I think it's helping the division.
Well, I'm concerned they won't book them good as a tag team either, just because I know what they've done with them so far, but it would not shock me to see them, like, totally fall off the face of the earth, because it's kind of what they've done with some of the NXT stars that have come up on the main roster. And I know they've given them a big push, and I hope they continue to give them a push.
Quite honestly, okay, I want to know, quite honestly, do you think that bringing those 4 guys up was a Vince thing, or was it a Hunter thing, where Hunter was like, all right, we're going to bring these 4 guys up from NXT because they're really good, and I want to see what they can do on the main roster? Or do you think it was Vince saying, bring those guys up because I think they look great, and we're going to turn them into big stars? Vince 100%?
I think almost everything has to go through Vince.
Well, you never know.
I
was just curious, because I wasn't sure what bring those guys up because I suck.
Problem is, he might mess them up, which is the thing I don't like. I hope that, I hope they don't mess around and mess this up, because they got some stars here, and they got a bunch of stars in NXT that could come up and perform right now and be stars on the main roster.
Actually, I have another thought for who they could bring up, just based upon what happened later in the evening, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to get ahead of myself yet. Calm down. We got to go to the next match, which I was kind of shocked that this was the second match on the card, the Velveteen Dream versus Matt Riddle for the North American Championship. I was shocked to see that was second. I thought they would have done the UK Championship next, and then done Riddle, and then the women, and then the main event.
Yeah, I could see it going either way. I mean, they're trying to push the UK Championship and some of the UK wrestlers. Yeah. So they kind of put them in the middle of the show. So, I mean, it's not totally shocking that they did it the way they did it. Yeah. Again, another match that I thought was good.
I will say Velveteen Dream's entrance was amazing. It was awesome. That is, like, the best entrance I've ever seen Velveteen Dream do ever. Like, he's dressed up as the New York. Oh my gosh. I look like a complete idiot because I'm not thinking right now and I can't. Statue of Liberty. That's what it's called. He looked like the Statue of Liberty and had the headband thing on, and then he was on a throne. And he was carried to the ring. And I thought it was a cool entrance. And a lot of people on Twitter thought it was cool, too. I thought Matt Riddle was going to win. We both picked Matt Riddle.
Yes, we did.
I thought that Matt Riddle was going to knock Velveteen Dream out, like, pretty quick and win the championship.
Well, my thought was is Matt Riddle would win, and then Velveteen Dream would go after the
NXT Championship?
Yeah, the NXT Championship. That's where I thought we would go with it.
Well,
But I'm beginning to think they may push.
The guys carrying him were a little uncoordinated. The guys in the front tried to start, and the guys in the back yelled, "Wait until he sits down." Oh, that's funny. Oh, boy.
That's what happens when you have four guys, several guys trying to coordinate.
Who happen to be uncoordinated.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to, carry a guy, not drop him.
Yeah.
Not kill him. He's a champ.
Just make sure he gets to the ring. That's the important thing.
Yeah. So I literally thought Matt Riddle was going to win this match, and then he did not. Velveteen Dream retained. Now, something I noticed in the match was how expressions changed on Matt Riddle, where in previous matches you've seen him, he looks, focused and stuff. And then he's like that happy, bro guy. Well, there was like a side of Matt Riddle that like I haven't seen before, where he was like kind of vicious and like not nice looking. So, are they going to turn him heel?
Again, we've talked about this. There's a fine line between heel and
This is the first Riddle match I watched in full, and this was great.
You know what? I wasn't a big Matt Riddle fan when he first came in. The first time I seen him, I was like, I don't really like him.
Yeah.
And, I've talked about it. He's grown on me. I feel that, he's kind of earned his way. At least he's earned my respect as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And so, watching him is no different than and this is what I said. NXT right now has a lot of good wrestlers.
They really do.
They're not only wrestlers, but they cut good promos and they put on a show.
Mm-hmm. We do. I believe it was Matt Riddle. I don't think Riddle's character can be heel. He's a bro. I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
He's gonna become a bad bro.
But I feel like there was almost that like heelish vibe. You know what I mean?
You could see it.
And
but like I said, there's a fine
there's a fine line between being a
heel and being a babyface
because people will cheer you either way.
Yeah.
Like the crowd went nuts for Adam Cole, and in this scenario, he's supposed to be the heel.
Yeah.
And so I get that, but I feel like they're gonna maybe try and put him over as the bad guy.
I think the NXT crowd cheers for everybody though.
True statement, though. That's a true statement. I believe it was Matt Riddle. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it was Matt Riddle who put up. We did not.
No, we talked about it and then talked about watching it, and then we got things set up here and ready to go, and
yeah,
I had to run the dog out and right before we went live, and
so we didn't get a chance to look at it.
So we missed,
Why? What did we miss? Things. What did we miss?
What do you say?
Tell us what we said. But I believe it was okay. I didn't either. Just wanted to know.
You left us hanging. I can't believe you do that.
That's funny.
I was all excited to hear what he said, and then you let me down.
That's funny. I believe it was Matt Riddle who put up a tweet on Twitter. Like I said, don't quote me on this. Could be wrong. But I think he called out Brock Lesnar and said that, he wants to go up to the main roster and he wants to be the one that retires Brock Lesnar.
That is what he said.
That would be one heck of a match.
It'd be crazy. I think, I don't know.
Sorry, you left me hanging because I knew NXT spoiler for the past 3 weeks.
Just remember, we don't like spoilers. We try to keep them hidden so we don't see them.
Some of us don't like spoilers. Sometimes I inadvertently see them on
Yeah,
Twitter,
sometimes
but
you
I don't
cheat.
say anything.
That's because you cheat.
And 90% of the time...
Oh, good. So then when we guess matches, you're like, get them all right because you already know what's happening.
Nuh-uh, they're not like spoilers for matches. They're like
Oh.
not for who's going to win, but like spoilers for like matches that could happen.
All right. Okay.
So, whatever. I don't look at spoilers for who's going to win. That ruins the fun of predictions. Then every time you get to buy me a Snickers bar, and I get to be the champion.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
Anyways, Brock Lesnar and Matt Riddle would be an epic match on the main roster.
Definitely.
And like, if it was for Brock Lesnar retiring, it'd be sick.
Then we have the Walter and Pete Dunne match.
Oh, did we say Velveteen Dream retained?
Oh yeah, Velveteen Dream retained.
He
Excellent.
retained.
Again, excellent match. I thought it was awesome throughout. Yeah.
It was a really good match. So now we have Walter versus Pete Dunne. I said it right this time. For the UK Championship. Now, Dunne has been champion for 657 days.
Vince would book Brock to win in 5.9 seconds.
Or
Probably.
Or 659 days, or 59 days. It's not 59 days.
Just long enough for Matt Riddle to say bro.
Yeah, just long enough for him to say bro. 655 days or 56 days or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
something.
that's how long he's been champion, or 70. Maybe it's 70. I don't know. It's 600 days, nevertheless. It's almost 700. And that all came to an end this evening when Walter won the championship. Wow. Mind blown. Now, is Dunne moving up to the main roster? Why else would you take the championship off of him?
To give someone else a shot. Try and get someone else over.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But
He's been in NXT and NXT UK for a long time. I could very well see him going up to the main roster.
He might move up to the main roster. I think he'd fit there as long as they use him right.
Agreed.
Some of these guys that move up, you sit there and you hope that they get used the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Because with what they do with
EC3.
them in NXT, NXT UK, I've watched a little bit of that. And just the storylines and the way they develop things seems to be a lot better than the main roster right now.
Well, it makes me like go, Walter's so great, so is Pete. If Walter didn't win, no one would be a believable challenger for Pete. Yeah, that is a true statement. If Walter did not win, no one would be a believable challenger for Pete. That is a true statement.
Hey,
because nobody has.
that says water is great.
Water. Oh, water is great. I put an imaginary L in there. Okay, sorry. Water. Okay, we're still talking about water?
Yeah, water is great. So is Pete. If
Water
didn't win, no one would be believable
is
challenger
great.
for
Now
Pete.
wait, now he'll come back with Walter. He'll be like, I meant Walter, not water.
No, he put water in quotes, so I think that's what he was meant to say.
Okay, whatever.
I'm pretty sure that's what he meant to say.
Okay, whatever.
That's why he wrote water again.
Okay.
Again, both these guys are excellent. I thought it was awesome. See, I told you.
No, I meant
knew what
water.
he meant. First time I read it, I was like, Walter is great. And then I looked, I went, no, that's in quotes. That says water, not Walter.
Okay, got it. That's funny. Yeah. WWE called him water on Twitter once.
Yeah. That's because WWE messes things up.
Well, it's just about as good as, E! News screwed up Charlotte Flair's name. They spelled their name wrong. They put an E on the end of it.
Flaire.
Yeah.
And then, ESPN, when they had all three of them on, talked about Charlotte Flair being the daughter of
Ric Flair. Becky Lynch is the 2019 Royal Rumble winner and the man, and Ronda Rousey is a UFC Hall of Famer or whatever, and former UFC champion, and whatever the heck else she has accomplished in her lifetime. And Charlotte Flair is the
daughter of the
daughter
Hall of Famer,
of Hall of Famer Ric Flair.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Not that she hasn't done anything.
No, obviously not. I mean, obviously not. The one thing I will say about this match was it almost an hour long?
It was quite a while. It was a long match.
It was such a long match, and I mean, like, I liked sitting there through it, but I felt like after kind of the 45-minute mark, 30-minute mark, I kind of just started zoning in and out. And I was still paying attention, but I was just like kind of zoning out, looking at Twitter and stuff.
Well, it was like I said, I think they were
a lot of back and forth.
It was, and I think that the one thing I think they could have done, they could have had the UK women's match also on her to showcase them. That's the only thing about this pay-per-view that I think they could have changed that would have made it better.
Yeah. I mean, it was 3 hours, so you could fit another.
Yeah. The way Walter drives is creepy and awkward. He looked like a. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea when we're sitting there and like, yes.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't have a match for them.
Come on. Tony
just
Storm
to get them
and
some
Rhea Ripley.
Exposure.
I don't know how to spell Rhea. R-E-H-A.
I think that's right.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
R-E-H-A?
I don't know.
I think it's R-E-H-A.
That's close. We know what you're saying. Most people know what you're saying.
It's
it's
R-H-E-A. R-H-E-A.
So having them on here would have been. That's the only thing with this pay-per-view I would have done different. Just throw in a UK women's match.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get the exposure out there for them.
Yeah.
And try and get people to go watch, NXT UK.
I love the women.
Rhea and Water, yes, definitely. Let's mess up all the UK wrestlers' names.
Wait. We should ask if we can use those for our fake wrestling promotion, because we have, Breck Lesnar.
We brought Breck Lesnar.
I think we had, like, Ricochet or something like that.
Yeah, Ricochet.
Rico something.
Yeah.
We, had Ronda Rousey. We put Ronnie and Ronda
well, it's not
together.
It's more like
it's actually
me.
you. We have Ronnie and Ronda. Ronda Rousey, because I call her Ronnie. That's what I write down in my notes.
I know, and then you mess me up.
And then I mess you up, and you call her Ronda.
It would be phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
AJ
Styles, phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah, boy. So, yeah.
Walter wins the
won,
UK Championship.
And we both picked Walter to win because we're like, it just makes sense. So, we are tied up there.
A lot of it had to do with the fact that Pete Dunne has held the title for like
almost 700 days.
Dude, it
would have been cool if he made it. And he's like the longest reigning champion ever in anything. Like, out of everybody. He's beat out like Brock Lesnar, I think. He's beat out other people that they talked about on the show. That's like, he's beat out a whole bunch of people's records for longest reigning champions. And so, I mean, it's a crazy modern history.
I don't watch too much NXT UK, but I bet he's probably wrestled more in 3 months than Brock Lesnar has his whole career.
Yep. True facts.
Just a guess.
Oh, I was gonna say before we start talking about, Tony and Rhea. That like when Bruno held for like 2,000 plus, I think.
Yeah, I think he held for about a while.
I mean, like, and they were kind of just bringing up like modern wrestlers, Brock Lesnar and stuff, like current champions. They have talked about those and how many days he's like beat out from people.
Bruno Sammartino held it for 2,803 days. Fabulous Moolah for 10,170 days.
My Lanta.
Bob Backlund for 2,135 days. Hulk Hogan for 1,474 days, and then you have Bruno Sammartino again for 1,237 days.
Wow, his 700 is not compared to like any of those. That's nuts.
So there are,
but like he's one of the longest reigning champions in WWE as of late.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
Yeah, it's been.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Pedro Morales held it for 1,027 days.
That's
So,
nuts.
yeah,
I
that's-
can't believe Fabulous Moolah held that for like that much time. That's like a lot.
He would be 7th on the list of holding the title the longest, men or women, or tag teams. I mean, like out of anything.
Wow. That's nuts. Great accomplishment. You know, put that on your resume, man. Yeah, but I think it was getting old. It was,
Oh yeah, it definitely
Back
was. I
then
mean,
to
back
do-
then you'd have the thing about back then, and we talked about this the other day when they had when it was on NXT. Who was it? The War Raiders? Was it the War Raiders that came out?
this week.
Yeah.
They beat two guys.
Yeah.
Two teams?
2 teams.
In a matter of 2 minutes.
Yeah. When on NXT this week, when they had the War Raiders wrestle 2 teams, and one of the teams was like these 2 little
No
runt
names.
guys that you're sitting there going.
We called them Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, they didn't even mention the guys' names.
I think they just
And-
came out from underneath the ring like
Well, I
Hornswoggle.
told you, I said this is like back in the old days when they just had like some nobody go out and wrestle like Hulk Hogan, just to get a match out there with Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
and it was, you knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
And there was no like, oh wow, that guy's gonna win. So
Yeah.
it was, that's kind of the way it was, and so back then it was they had matches like that.
It was easy to do stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. He had an amazing championship run, and I'm curious to see what he does in the future. And 100%, I think he has wrestled more than Brock Lesnar in the past.
Yeah,
Several months.
definitely.
The one thing that gets me with
Yes, definitely. House shows, champions never lose.
yeah.
To be
Dude,
honest,
you have no idea how many house shows I've seen where it's been unless you're at AJ. You have no idea how many like house show videos that people have put up I've seen recently. Where it's like Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and there've been like at least 3 times in the last like 2 weeks, or yeah, 2 weeks, and she never wins, but she gets the upper hand at the end of it, and she like does a stunner on Charlotte or something.
This
and,
is why-
and then she stands tall, but
Well,
she
and this
doesn't
is-
actually win the matches.
This is where I wish they wouldn't even put like title matches on house shows. You have enough wrestlers, promote them on your house shows, use them on your house shows. Don't even have the champions at house shows because they run the show. Yeah, I know, that's just it. They run the same show for weeks at a time, and you have other wrestlers that they could be using. I know, they've talked about giving wrestlers time off and things like that, and some of them have complained about how much they work and they're out on the road. That's where you could give them time off. They have so many wrestlers that if they would just use them, they could have time off. They could give them a month off and promote, another storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Makes it difficult. But the one thing about Dunn when he wrestles is like when he does the finger thing, it just makes my whole body go.
Yeah.
He's like, crack! And I'm like, that hurt me. That physically hurt me. I hate when he does a hand thing. I mean, it works for his gimmick, but it just kills me.
Yep.
It just literally kills me.
Then we have Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai versus Kairi Sane versus Bianca Belair. I see that said the average live rating draw. Yeah, and so what, so the house shows really aren't, like, huge.
No.
And so you probably don't even need them. I mean, I understand, you get some money, but are you making that much money off of
Well, I think it's...
the house shows?
I think the reason they do the house shows, I mean, obviously, people they want to go see it, but I think it's like, so then the fans can I don't know how to word it. They can interact more with the superstars. Know what I mean?
Well, I get that, but it's just like,
That would be the
why
only.
do you need
that
to
would
do
be
it?
the
You have
only
Monday Night
reason.
Raw, you have Sunday or SmackDown.
You have Sunday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, Sunday Night SmackDown. There's really, you have NXT. I don't really think that you probably need to, have a whole lot more.
Well, the thing is,
than
like,
that.
when you have Raw happening, you have a house show somewhere else where it's the SmackDown people, and then when you have SmackDown, there's a house show somewhere else with the Raw people.
Which is dumb.
And then on
because-
Wednesday, you could have another house show, and then, Thursday and Friday or whatever,
But wouldn't it be the whole idea be to try and pull people in to watch Raw? And now you've taken some people out of that by having a house show.
Well,
I realize it's only a handful of people, but...
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
know.
I don't see a problem with house shows. You can keep them.
The women's match. I thought this, again, excellent match. I thought it was an awesome
Excellent match. Didn't like the way it ended.
Very entertaining.
Well, actually, I'm okay with the way it ended because I'll get into that in a second.
Kept you on the edge of your seat. It was a good match.
It was. The issue I have with the way it ended, Shayna Baszler ended up retaining her championship. The issue I have with this is that she wasn't really involved in 90% of the match. She was in it for like the first little bit, and then she came back. I wish Bianca wasn't submitted. I think she's leaving.
You think she's leaving NXT, or do you think she's leaving WWE?
Yeah, like leaving entirely, or like leaving to like, move up. I just didn't like the way it ended because I felt like Shayna Baszler wasn't leaving NXT.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about too, is possibly going up to the main roster.
I just didn't. I didn't like the way it ended just due to the fact that Shayna Baszler was not involved in 90% of the match, and then she comes in and she puts the sleeper hold thing on Bianca, and then she ends up tapping out, which makes Bianca Belair look weak because that's like she was submitted again. It wasn't like it was Kairi Sane or Io Shirai who ended up being put in the sleeper hold.
I hate Fatal 4-Ways for a title. I hate Fatal 3-Ways for a title. I hate anything other than just head-to-head for a title anyway. So I just don't like it at all. And when they do it, I hate it.
Okay, so we thought that Shayna Baszler was going to lose and then go up to the main roster. You, last night, being the genioid you are, threw out a wonderful, splendiferous idea. You want to share that idea for what was going to happen at WrestleMania?
No, I don't want to share my idea. I want people to go watch our videos so they can find out what my idea was.
Okay, whatever. But to get the point across, you have to share your idea. Otherwise, it makes no sense what I'm talking about.
Just pretend like we know everybody knows what you're talking about and just go with...
Okay, well, if you didn't see our stream yesterday, I had a meltdown, and it was not very good because of this fool right here. And
so if you want to see a meltdown, go watch our video from yesterday and you can find out.
I didn't like the match when Bianca would grab Io's leg, Shayna would grab.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, it was I didn't like the way they did it. But overall I thought the match was good. It was entertaining. I just, there were parts of it I didn't like, but
yeah.
And I didn't like the outcome just because it messed up my theory on what could happen. Although,
yeah, I'm okay with Shayna Baszler winning. It just I didn't like the way they ended the match. I only called her Asuka because I forgot her name. Asuka Jr. Kairi Sane. There you go. That's her name. I know there's so many that you can't remember who's who. And they all have like interesting names, so you're like Io Shirai and Asuka Jr. We like that.
Yeah.
Asuka Jr.
We'll have to remember that. Maybe that's what they should call her if she moves up to the main roster.
You have Asuka and Asuka Jr.
Yeah.
And then you can have Io Shirai, who is Asuka Jr. Jr.
They are. Let's just call them all Asuka.
The 3 Asukas. So yeah, I'm okay with the fact that Shayna Baszler retained, just due to the fact that then your ridiculous idea will not happen. And then
Asuka the 3rd, yes, definitely.
And then, but I just didn't like that Shayna Baszler wasn't really involved in the match, and then she ended up coming in at the very end and swooped in and made Bianca tap out, which is kind of what I was like, man, I'm gonna be able to do it.
Well, I don't like that.
But again, I'm okay with it because I'm okay with it because I don't want what you said yesterday to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah, don't say my idea could still happen.
I don't care.
So we'll see.
I am putting it in the farthest back of my mind, back of my head. No. It's not going to happen. We're not going to go there again. I'm not going to have another meltdown because No. But if you'd like to see me having a meltdown,
watch the video yesterday.
Then watch the video from yesterday because I hate her puppies that she has in the back.
That's funny.
That's really funny. So yeah, if you want to see me melt down over the dumb idea that he put out yesterday, then watch yesterday's stream where we predicted what was going to happen at WrestleMania and NXT TakeOver tonight. Neither of us were right in the situation because I said Io Shirai was going to win, and you said
I said Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair was going to win. And so, yeah. There was a split second that was like, oh, Io Shirai hit the perfect moonsault, and I was like, yes, it's over. And then Kairi Sane came in and broke it up, and I was like, no, you suck. Oh, this close, and I would have been right. And then you have to buy me a Snickers and a championship belt.
So close.
But we don't add all these up. We can't add all these up until after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because we have to see who had the most predictions right through the whole
Yeah, I think I'm ahead 2-1 right now, right? Is that right?
Yes, because you did War Raiders and I picked Ricochet, and then we both got Walter right.
Yeah.
And so you're
I'm up 2-1.
You have 2 and I have 1. So, but championship belt and Snickers. We'll add it all up after WrestleMania on Sunday and see who wins.
No, we are not watching the G1 Supercard.
I kind of want to watch G1 Supercard. I just don't know where to watch it at. Got any insight on that? Because that's tomorrow.
I think it's on Fight. Is it Fight? Fight. What's the name of it? Fight. It's a Fight Network or something like that.
On?
There's an app.
Oh, I don't know.
It costs like $40 or something like that.
I have no idea. I would love to watch G1 Supercard. But we're not going to.
Are you going to watch it?
At the moment. I will, be on Twitter to see what's happening and stuff. I know Bully Ray has a match, so that's exciting.
We've talked about expanding
MSG
beyond WWE. And when AEW starts out, we will definitely...
Well, I don't pay for pay-per-views. I'm in high school. Ain't got money for that. Yeah.
I got 5 kids, so I have no money for that either.
That's funny. Yeah. But this has nothing to do with anything, but I'll be listening to the Busted Open 10-year anniversary party on Sirius XM between 2 and 4 or whatever it is. I got that going for me, but I'm not G1
Where are you
right
watching
now.
the G1 Supercard at? Not physically, or you go to someone's house and watching it. I mean,
I'm going to Larry's house down the street to watch G1 Supercard.
We'll be over.
Yeah, just, send us a DM with Larry's address so we can,
There, watchwrestling.in. Write that down.
Well, I don't have the paper. You have it. I can get you a pen, though.
I have the paper, and you have a pen.
I have a pen. Yeah, thanks. We might check that out and see. I don't know times for anything. I have to check it out. I know tomorrow I have a thing for dance in the afternoon, but then we'll be back to watch Hall of Fame. And then, so, yeah. Oh, boy. Busy weekend.
We'll have to check that out and see what's on there.
I have no friends
who
who watch
wrestling,
wrestling, so you guys are all I got. Oh, well, good. You're all we got.
I guess we're coming to your house then.
Or, like I said, we can just go to imaginary, Larry's house and...
At least he said, I have no friends who watch wrestling. He could have said, I have no friends.
I have no friends, so you guys are all I got. Well, I guess we'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, that's the way the women's match ended. Could Shayna Baszler still come up with the NXT
Do you want to know what
Women's
my theory was
Championship?
last night?
Yes.
If you'd like to know my theory, let me know, because I'll tell you.
Please do.
If you haven't watched the video from
Please
last night.
ask, because none of this makes any sense that what we're talking about if you don't know the theory. So, I advise you ask.
That's funny.
I want to know. All right, tell the people what your dumb theory was last night.
So my theory.
Oh, wait. First off, okay, are you a Becky fan? I think we've talked about this before. You're a Becky fan, right? I'm a Becky fan. I got a little offended, okay? I got a little offended when he laid this out in front of me. And I about got up and walked away. In fact, I did get up and walk away when you put this out there. So that's the first thing we need to know. Are you a Becky fan? Oh, actually, I guess the question would be, who are you rooting for in the triple threat? Rousey, Becky, or Charlotte? Because that's the first thing. Not only am I a worshiper of the man. Yeah, you are. Fist bump to the screen.
Great, now he's going to be mad as soon as I explain my theory.
So go ahead and share it. And you will see why I was a little bit aggravated last night when he shared this dumb idea.
All right, so my theory was, since they have not made this a unification match, that the winner would just get both titles, I said that nobody would win. There would be outside interference, and everybody would get disqualified. Or there'd be, a disqualification in there that costs the match. And the Becky Lynch fan here,
Hold on, actually, let me go to my Twitter.
Because, went nuts and, freaked out about it.
I was going to rip his head off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She got so mad she got up out of her chair and started to walk off.
I walked away, and then I came back. So, actually, on Twitter, after the fact, I put this up, said, I'm going to rant for a hot second. I just finished my WrestleMania prediction stream with my dad, and he said that the main event will end in no winner. How on earth could you do that? This is the first ever women's main event at WrestleMania. You just can't do this to these three women. They've worked their butts off to make this the main event. Then you would end it with no winner via someone else getting involved. You just can't do it. It takes away from everything that they have done to get here. And then I said, I need to know everyone's views on this prediction. I don't agree. The rest of my evening was ruined after Mr. Gleen said no winner. Me being me, I said Becky Lynch because there is no one else to win this match. Then underneath, one of my followers, Eric Stephen, he said, that would be awful, but WWE has done garbage like that before. James Ellsworth won the first ever women's Money in the Bank. Charlotte randomly ended Asuka's streak, and they did nothing with it. The list goes on. And I said, it's the list that keeps on listing how many terrible things WWE can manage to do. And then he said, I think they're always trying to one-up themselves. And then I said, what they think is one-upping themselves and what the rest of the world thinks is one-upping themselves are two different things.
So that was, basically that was my theory on what could happen. And, we talked about having the four horsewomen get together, and we also talked about the UFC four horsewomen getting together.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a long time. I don't see that happening anytime soon, just due to the fact that you've had such a heated rivalry with, such a heated rivalry between Becky and Charlotte to lead up to this match. You can't straight away turn around and do, we're going to team up Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley versus the other four horsewomen. You just can't do it because everything leading up to this, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever why you would put Charlotte and Becky back together and have them go, oh, we're best friends once again, woohoo, woohoo. No.
Yeah, well,
you can't do that, and especially if Becky, either way, whoever walks out with the title, if Becky walks out with Charlotte's title, we're not going to see that friendship for quite a long time. If Charlotte walks out with Becky's title, Becky doesn't have a title. If Charlotte walks out, with the championships and stuff, Becky's still going to be just a wee bit mad that she did not win that match. Okay? So, no. Can't do it. This rivalry is so heated, I don't want it to end, but I want Becky to win at the same time.
I think you have to change some stuff up. You have to, it's a good rivalry. It's a good heated rivalry. I think it's, I think they could have done it a little bit different the way they did it. Because I think they took some of the heat off of it there for a while.
I just have a quick question. Did you love the arresting of all three women segment on Monday Night Raw? Because it was amazing.
I hated it.
He hated it, and he's weird. But
the
rest of the world loved it.
I explained why I hated it. It's not because I hated the concept of it.
You just thought it was dumb.
Because of what had happened, a couple weeks before with Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch getting arrested?
Yes.
So?
You repeated the storyline.
Hey, it's called foreshadowing. Things in doubles, okay? She was arrested twice. She was suspended twice. Come WrestleMania, she's going to win 2 titles. Wow, look at that.
Well, you know what that means? When she loses, she's going to lose twice.
No, she isn't. Because this is only going to go till WrestleMania. And then after that, the streak of doubles is going to end.
Oh.
Avid supporter of the man.
Yeah.
I got it. He just doesn't believe, man. He's not a believer. And it's such a problem. And I don't know how I live with him.
I loved how Ronda drove in the squad car.
I know, right? Like, she was handcuffed and was like, and then just moved forward. I thought it was so dumb.
There were so many memes that I saw on Twitter from...
the Charlotte in the knee, in the head. Oh my gosh, yeah.
One was, was it the Eurythmics? Is that the one I showed you?
Yeah. It was sweet dreams are made of this. And it was the beginning. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And then there was, when they put Becky and Ronda in the exact same car, I died. I literally died on my kitchen floor and was like dying laughing because I was like, this is so stupid. Why would you put them in the same car? And then the police officer in the front seat going, hey, knock it off. Knock it off in the back seat. Stop kicking each other. And then Ronda kicked out the window. It was the greatest segment I've ever seen in my life. That was the best portion of it, though. I thought that was hilarious when they put Becky and Ronda in the exact same car. And then they just started beating the living crap out of each other with their feet. And then Ronda busted the window. And then you had the idiot police guy in the front saying, oh, knock it off. Stop it. You can't be doing this.
Yeah,
hey, ding dong, get out of the car and pull him out.
I think if they had,
it made the segment funny.
If they had not done this before with like Becky Lynch being arrested, I think this would have been an okay segment. I just don't like the fact that they.
I think it was fine.
That was my issue with it.
So now that we're done talking about Becky Lynch, because the police got there suspiciously fast, and why were there only 2 cars? Good question.
There's like 35 policemen in 2 cars.
And then like. Becky got escorted by the police to SmackDown the next night. So, I mean,
Yeah.
There is one thing I would have liked to see them do with that segment, is like the police guy, the police guy.
The police guy.
The cop, he rolls down the window and he fist bumps her and is like, good luck at WrestleMania. Kick Ronda and Charlotte in the head. That is what would have made that segment so much better, and she would have been like, sure thing.
The funny thing is I saw someone tweeted out that, do they not get paid enough money?
They gotta be an Uber
Baltimore,
driver.
that police officers have to be an Uber driver now.
Uber driver too. Somebody, I think it was, I don't even remember. I think it was Mr. Warren Hayes, who I follow on Twitter. He said, you know what? All right, the police guys now gotta do Uber, but I hope Becky paid him while she was still in the car, because she didn't hand him any money when she got out. So. I hope she paid him at some point in time to drive her between,
Washington, D.C.
Washington and Baltimore.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. So I hope that. Yeah, I was thinking about that too the other day. I was like, okay, so you have Joan Jett playing for Ronda Rousey. You have Charlotte Flair, who's going to make a grand entrance because she always does every time that she's been at WrestleMania. You got to do something amazing for Becky. So I was thinking.
Take a step back. Tonight, the intro for Ricochet, Aleister Black, and the War Raiders
were awesome.
They
were amazing. I have not
seen shots.
I have not seen the shots of the set yet. But I really hope that they do something good for Becky's entrance. Unfortunately, watching back to WrestleMania 32, watching when she made her entrance there, it wasn't great. I know it's a different gimmick and everything, but it's, for the most part. But I think it'd be cool if they kind of paid tribute to all the different gimmicks that she's had between then when she first started and now, and they kind of show pictures on the screen of everything that she has done, and then she comes out through the smoke and stuff, and she comes out as the man. I think that'd be kind of cool to kind of pay tribute to all her different gimmicks. Or she comes out and she has I saw this on. It was in the pre-show. What do you expect? She should come out on a SWAT truck. But I think I saw this idea on Twitter that she like comes out with her like her goggles, and she has her goggles on, and then she takes them off and just sets them down, and then comes out and is like, "Now I'm the man. Like, this is what I was, and this is what I am now, and I'm here, and I'm main eventing WrestleMania, and this is what's happening."
And by the way, do you need shampoo? Because I have Head and Shoulders.
And I am headstrong. Just have her come out holding a bottle of Head and Shoulders shampoo. Oh boy. You can tell. We're on, well, I don't know about you, but I'm on the Becky train. Okay. Wait. You know, we never kind of made this clear yesterday.
Yes.
If you had to pick one of the 3 women to win, and you weren't saying, oh, it's going to end in no disqualification, which one would you pick?
I could go with what the fans want.
No, who would you... Okay, well, I know who you would want. You'd say Charlotte.
It's not that I want her to win. It's the fact that, you know, this is the main eventing WrestleMania. And as of right now, I think she's probably overall the best wrestler that there is and has been for the women's division. So it would be kind of an honor for her to, you know, get the title or the titles and win the main event at WrestleMania. I mean, that's just why I would, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with her winning it.
I know a lot of people that would have a lot of problems with her winning it.
Well, I know it's because, but the thing is she has played the heel role well.
That's what she does. I see. It's not that I don't like Charlotte Flair,
and it's not that,
all.
And it's
I don't dislike Charlotte Flair in this situation. I dislike Charlotte Flair, but I respect her 100% because of everything that she has done, and she has made the women's division. She's helped make the women's division what it is right now. If anyone besides Becky wins, the other would become the most heel woman superstar of all time. Yeah, agreed. That's why I said, literally, you can't end it any other way without, if you're putting it in the main event, you can't end it any other way without Becky winning. Because you aren't going to want to send the fans home angry.
So here's a question for you. Does Brock win? Does Kofi win? Or not Brock, does Seth win? Does
Why can't
Kofi
you have all
win?
3 win?
And does Becky win?
Why can't you have all 3 win?
They're all the fan favorites.
I said Brock may very well be put over and win.
Well, you said that after I questioned. You know, they're not going to have all 3 of these people win.
That's after you made your dumb prediction, and I was mad, and I was like, I'm putting in Brock Lesnar instead of Becky Lynch. Instead of Seth Rollins. So, yeah. Brock Lesnar versus Becky Lynch.
I think as of right now, they would probably be the all-time heel. But I think that, you know, knowing that Charlotte Flair has done what she's done for women's wrestling.
Doesn't matter. With the situation they have right now, people would be mad.
Well, people might be mad, but that's part of, you know, wrestling.
People would be more than mad.
When Hulk Hogan came out in NWO gear, everyone was mad.
Not really. I thought it was cool.
No, they were mad. You see how much crap got thrown in the ring?
Yeah, I know how much crap got thrown in the ring. Now I look at it, I mean, you know, I've watched it, you know. Kofi wins, Brock wins, Becky wins. I think Seth is old and stale. Yeah, I said Kofi wins in the prediction video yesterday.
I hope Brock doesn't win. Brock needs to lose the title because Brock does not show up to wrestle anything. You know, once every 6 months, I hate it.
Thought go through my head today, this morning when I woke up, and I said, what if Kofi doesn't win? What if they have Daniel Bryan win and Kofi doesn't win the championship? It would be 100% dumb.
Well, again, it's like you go back to he'll be the most hated wrestler
Daniel Bryan
out there.
Daniel Bryan will be the most hated wrestler on the earth.
I mean, he's already hated, but
Bendy Boy Gaming called him a windbag.
Yeah.
Okay? He was like, oh, I don't like him.
So
he's the most hated on the earth.
I don't know. I
know you have to have Kofi win, and I'm still sticking with my prediction. I'm still saying Kofi's winning. But I don't know. It just crossed my mind this morning, and I was kind of like,
second guessing.
What if they put Daniel Bryan winning? How could Kofi not win at Kofi Mania?
That's like KO, not wrestling KO.
Not wrestling KO. Yeah.
I think he has to win, but, you know.
Again, like I said, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not gonna, that I don't want to see him win. But it, like, crossed my mind this morning, and I woke up, and I was like, what if he doesn't win? What if they stretch it out till SummerSlam or something? Or Money in the Bank?
That's a long ways to stretch it out.
Well, I guess here's some long-term booking. If Kofi does not win at WrestleMania, he gets put in the Money in the Bank match. He wins Money in the Bank. He then catches Daniel Bryan. He then cashes in on Daniel Bryan and then wins the championship at like SummerSlam or something.
Might. I don't think so.
I think it'd be dumb.
They have to have him win at WrestleMania.
I am telling you, man. I will not be, honestly, after thinking about it this morning, I will not be shocked if Kofi does not win. Becky and Kofi are in the same place. Can they both win? I'd rather have Becky win. True that.
You know, I agree with you. I think they're in the same place, and that's where
I'd rather have Becky win.
You're going to have the fans, if they don't have Kofi and Becky win, the fans are going to totally hate the other wrestler.
This is why I said it puts WWE in a really, it puts WWE in a really tough spot, because if they do not have Kofi win, and they do not have Daniel Bryan lose his championship at WrestleMania, they will hate WWE. Kofi in the Bank, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble.
That's funny.
Let's just rename all the pay-per-views.
After he wins the title, we can do that.
Yeah. But then if you do the main event and you don't have Becky win, man, WWE, you're screwing yourselves over big time. So they really do have to have both of them win, which is why Brock would be the one who would... Oh, I saw this somewhere. I hope that they do not have Ronda Rousey win, and then they have Becky go against Ronda the next night for both titles, and then she wins on Raw. I would absolutely hate that.
Don't have a meltdown.
I would hate that. I saw that on Twitter today, and I was like, I had a meltdown yesterday. I don't want to do it again. Man. Don't do it. What happens after the double champion is crowned?
That's what we talked about. That's why I said.
I said that Becky would defend them separately. She's not going to defend them at the same time.
But that's putting her on Raw and SmackDown. Does she lose it immediately? Lose one of the titles immediately?
No. She can defend it on both. She can defend one championship and then defend the other.
But I get that.
She doesn't have to do them at the same pay-per-view.
No, but does she lose one of them immediately?
No.
See, and that's where I think that unless they're unifying it,
I
wouldn't be shocked if we don't see...
WWE is not going to unify it because they have Fox and SmackDown on the horizon. They're not going to do it. They're going to have a women's champ on both brands, which is why I said Becky could easily go between brands and defend her SmackDown championship and then defend her Raw championship.
What if they unify this and call this a WWE championship? And then as we get closer to fall, when Fox takes over, they decide to split it up and then have a title on both of them.
I don't see them doing that, quite honestly. Just because it's WWE and that's not what they do. So I'm going to say that Becky's going to defend them on both. She's going to defend both titles, but not at the same time.
Okay.
She's going to defend them. You know, she can have a rivalry with SmackDown.
Yeah.
First rivalry out WrestleMania, I think, will probably be Lacey Evans.
Probably.
Because I know Lacey Evans took a shot at the man gimmick recently.
That's what we taught, or that's what I said. I think they need to unify the belt and then have a mid-card championship.
Yeah.
How you doing, Bendy?
Yeah,
why not unify?
hey,
Y'all said that they have too many titles.
That's what I said.
I said I think they need to unify. They need to unify the belts. I mean, there's way too many belts the way it is. I think that you need to, and we talked about this last night. Unify the belts. Have your top tier, your big champion. Have a mid tier belt, and you could put a mid tier belt on both SmackDown and Raw. And then if you wanted to, you could even have a lower tier belt. So then all of those have something to strive for. See, right now, I think the issue with booking and not using the wrestlers, they don't have enough lower tiered belts to sit there and say, okay, this is what they're striving for. Not that everybody has to be a champion or trying to achieve championship status.
Well, that's what I said that I got into a conversation with somebody on Twitter about that yesterday. They were like, okay, well, Becky has been working for 4 years. This was about Becky Lynch and talking about championship because I brought up something about, well, they just need to use their talent better. And then they came back with, I'm really tired of hearing people say, they need to use their talent better and they need to give more people this opportunity and that opportunity. Becky worked for 4 years to get where she is right now, where she's main eventing WrestleMania and she's going for both championships. And I came back with, I said, I agree. Becky has worked her tail off to get where she is right now. But what I'm saying they need to do is use the talent you have. They don't all have to be going for championships. I understand that that's where they want to be. They want to be in that championship spot. That's where everybody wants to be one day. But you all can't be champion at the same time. So you have to wait your turn and work on other things with other people in different rivalries before you get the chance to go for the women's title. You can't all go for it at once. And so then they were like, yeah, sure.
No, and that's where I think that you could have your mid-tier belt and your lower-tier belt, and everybody can kind of strive to be
the way
one of those champions.
Women work is if you're not the best or in a tag team, you will not hold a title.
You don't get focused on either. I mean, realistically. And even if you hold a title, look what happened to Asuka. Asuka was never focused on.
Because they were focusing on the triple threat. That's the thing. Is they were, and I get that, it's two separate shows, so I don't know why they didn't focus on Asuka on Tuesday, and then they work on the triple threat thing on Wednesday, Monday. People thought it was funny. They were like, okay, well, like your two challengers for Asuka that would be most logical for WrestleMania are both going for the Raw Championship.
The reason they didn't, because after they put Charlotte Flair in there, since she was on one brand, Ronda Rousey's on one brand, they felt they had to cover, had to cover their butts on both.
Asuka didn't have a viable challenger anyways. Agreed.
She didn't have a viable challenger because they didn't build anybody up. I mean, if you're not going to build your talent up and work them up to that point, then no, you're not going to have a viable challenger. But that's part of using your talents you have and not doing using the same people every week or
the original plan for Asuka going into WrestleMania was Lacey Evans, and then they scrapped that.
Well, because
they scrapped Lacey Evans versus Asuka, and then it was going to be Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville. Or no, then it was going to be Mandy. They were going to have a four-woman match the week Charlotte won the championship. There was supposed to be the four-woman, the Fatal 4-Way to determine who was going to go fight Asuka at WrestleMania for the championship. But that was scrapped because nobody wanted to see Asuka versus Mandy, where they were going to have Mandy win at WrestleMania. Dumbest thing ever. They were going to have her win at WrestleMania, and people knew that match wasn't going to be any good or high profile because nobody cared. And then they put the championship on Charlotte to give Charlotte a reason to be in that triple threat match, because Charlotte did not have a reason to be in that match. That made sense until they put the belt on her, and then they made it for winner take all.
No, they didn't. And I think this makes it fair for Becky for all the trouble that she was put through. She earned a double title show after winning the Rumble. And the Rumble, I didn't like the way they did the Rumble. I mean, we talked about it, having Asuka beat Becky, and then she turns around and wins the Rumble. I didn't like the way they did that. The whole storyline was bad. It was not set up right. They botched it and could have done something different there.
I think that was probably on the fly, like, okay, Becky's getting over with the fans. We need to figure out how we're going to get her in the main event of WrestleMania that makes some sense. Otherwise, why are we putting her in this match? Because it was supposed to be Charlotte and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
I'll be honest with you. I think they tried to cool it, and they were hoping that Becky would fall off, with what they did with her with the injury and everything else, and kind of hoping that would cool some of the fans and the pressure. And they felt that, they had to. I love the way the Rumble was hooked. She lost to submission, not pinfall. for her it was fine, but you had Asuka who beat the man and then falls off the face of the planet.
Yeah, she literally was not even seen.
I mean, I made the man submit, and now I fall off the face of the planet.
But with the Becky thing, like I said, I think it made sense because they had to figure out a way to get her into the main event get her into the women's match against Ronda Rousey because that's what people wanted to see because Becky was so hot and nobody wanted to see Charlotte in that match. They kind of unintentionally did it at last week. I thought Steph was adding Asuka to Mania. No, dude, literally, I fell for it though. Like she came out and she was like, "My big announcement is I am going to be added to the triple threat match at WrestleMania," and I was like,
the only thing I wish she would have done.
I'm about ready to walk out. And then she was like, "Guys, can't you take a joke?"
The only thing I wish she would have done last week was when she came out and said, "I'm adding myself to the main event at WrestleMania." She would have just ended it right there. And
like walked into the
Walk back to the back and then come out like halfway through the show and go, "I was just kidding earlier. I'm not adding myself to the main event. We're having both titles on the line."
I think that
the fans... Just think of how the fans would have reacted to that.
They booed her the minute she said that.
Yes,
she was like,
imagine sitting there for...
I'm being added to the match. And they were like, boo. And she got like the biggest boos ever.
Imagine having people sit there for 45 minutes to an hour or whatever going, "I can't believe they just did that."
Don't even...
Are you kidding me? And
then she comes out. Stephanie's gonna win the title at WrestleMania.
And then she comes out and goes, I think they could have left him on the hook for the fans on the. You would have blown a gasket if she wouldn't have like immediately went. I
about blown a gasket the second after she said it. I was like,
now imagine if she would have made.
You're joking me? Are you kidding? And then she was like, "I'm just kidding," and I was like, "Okay, good."
Imagine if she would have made you sit there for an hour.
I would have died.
Yes, you would have.
I would have died. No, I literally would have died. It was not good. No, and then later that evening, the evening, would have been better because, her and Triple H becoming a face. That's why they didn't carry it out. Yeah.
Although I don't see that Triple H is really the face in this. This thing with Batista.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say in the thing with Becky.
No, with Batista.
Okay, so yeah, no,
I think he's supposed to be the face.
He's supposed to be the face, but Batista is getting cheered more than Triple H is.
Which goes back to why I said there's like a fine line between a heel and a face now.
There really is. And that's why I said Batista should win, is just due to the fact that it's his last match. I think he's a face in general.
Oh yeah, they love him in NXT.
People love him because of NXT, yeah.
But you look at what he's done with NXT. I mean, the stuff he's done there, the way they've created storylines, the way they've developed talent, the way they made the way they've made the show. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I guess the show in general. I said that to you the other day in the car. We were driving, and I was like, dude, just imagine what NXT would be like if Vince was running it. I swear, 90% of the things that happen because Triple H is in charge, and it's his thing, and it's not Vince.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree.
I said, I think Vince should just retire. Vince should retire from being backstage, hand it over to Hunter and to Stephanie. Well, mostly Hunter, because I feel like Hunter knows what he's doing. Because he was talent, and he knew what people, wanted to see.
Just think, with the way he does NXT, think of what he could do with SmackDown and Raw's rosters.
I know, which is why I said I think Vince should just retire.
The one thing I wish he would do with...
bad, but I think he should.
The only thing I wish he'd do with NXT, and I know they only got an hour show and things like that, I wish they would have more matches and promote more of the people that are there. Because,
they have to build up some more talent than just Velveteen Dream. That's the one thing, like you said, about NXT that's a little frustrating. Is, they're just putting Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano and those guys out there. But what happens when they move up? You need to have guys to fill their position when they're done. So if you don't have anybody in line, you got to build people up from scratch, and you might lose interest because you don't have those big guys like Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole, and because they're gone, they're up on the main roster, and they're not there. NXT is so good because Vince doesn't watch NXT, and thank God because he he doesn't, because he'd try and make it his.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if he had watched it, he'd screw it up, and
100%. 100%.
I think the way it is, it's really good, and people that don't have the WWE Network should be
also. I've been thinking, will Ono ever go to SmackDown or Raw? I don't know. I don't know if Cassius Ono will ever go to. I love his music. I'll give him that. He's on NXT UK right now. He got knocked out last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was who knocked him out, but he was in a match, and I watched the very tail end of it, and he got knocked out.
He's so bad they moved him to NXT UK where nobody sees him.
Oh, that's funny. I really like his music. Oh no.
Yeah, again, there's talent there, and they moved him away.
He's been wrestling for a long time, man, and like I think he should go up to the main roster because I feel like he could be good. He got called down. He was on NXT, and then he got called down to NXT UK, and that just kind of was like, oh.
No, if he would have got called down, he'd be on Live 205.
True statement.
He's a little too big for that,
True statement.
though.
Oh my gosh. Did you see about...
Or main event.
Oh yeah, main event would be worse, because that's where EC3 and Apollo Crews, and where EC3 gets beat every week.
I don't even know if I've ever watched main event.
I have one time, a long time ago, but I just kind of read what happens on it every now and again, and it's not good.
Last match.
Yeah, sorry, we were totally we were supposed to be talking about NXT TakeOver, and then
and then we can talk about Becky Lynch and what's going to happen at WrestleMania 2 if you guys want to. Yeah. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, 2 out of 3 falls.
This match did not end the way we thought it was going to.
No, it didn't. It was, again, another good match. Excellent. This is why NXT is awesome. For those of you that are watching, if you don't have NXT, don't have the WWE Network, it is fairly cheap.
Oh, well, and right now, with WrestleMania, it's free for new subscribers. Yes, you can get
it free for this weekend and for new subscribers, and then you could watch the NXT if you didn't get the opportunity to watch it. Of course,
there's really cool stuff on there.
If you don't want to watch NXT and you just would rather come listen to us talk about what happens on NXT, that's fine.
You can always find us on here. This is free too.
Or you could
right now.
You could.
I mean, it's not free right now. It's not like we charge people to come in. No, it's free to come to YouTube and watch us be idiots.
Yeah.
And watch me have meltdowns.
Yes, you could. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
we won't charge you for that.
No, we won't charge you for that.
Until we can become big and have 7 people watching us at one time.
I know. Until we have 7 people watching us. 4 is Gerard right now. If you don't have WWE Network, go to watchwrestling. Yeah. I mean, you could also do that. That's cool.
We actually have WWE Network. So.
Yeah, we do have WWE Network. We've had WWE Network since it came out for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because
that's kind of when you got started watching wrestling.
I did. It's your fault. You got the WWE Network, and then we watched old pay-per-views, and then
you were hooked.
And then I've been watching wrestling for 5 years.
Yeah.
I'll be going on 6 years. Oh my gosh, it's nuts.
I kind of took a break from it and started watching it here in the last.
I've been watching it
3 or 4 months
for the last 5 years. Not Raw and SmackDown consistently, but pay-per-views and stuff I paid attention to.
Yeah.
And I watched every pay-per-view.
Let's do this match real quick so we can get this done.
Sure.
Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, excellent match.
Amazing match.
Love the match.
Nice. I've been watching since 2012.
Cool.
Yeah. I've been watching since WrestleMania 30. Mm-hmm. Whatever year that was. I think it was 2014.
I watched the first WrestleMania.
Well, actually, I've seen
35 years ago.
I've seen all the old stuff. Literally everything. All the old stuff. And I go back and I rewatch it. I think I started with WrestleMania 1 and then 2. 3 was the best WrestleMania I'd ever seen. And then, Royal Rumble and stuff. And I've watched everything. Attitude Era, everything.
Yeah.
So, I'm a walking, talking dictionary of wrestling. And it's, pretty cool.
Definitely.
When I'm talking about stuff and nobody else has any idea what I'm talking about. And
you talk about stuff and I have no clue what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like a foreign language.
I know, it's because I remember stuff. I told you I absorb all the wrestling stuff. I told you I'm a dictionary.
Yeah, and I'm going, what did you just say?
I'm like, Rock and Austin had a match in 2000.
January 5th of 2004.
Exactly. And you're like, okay? And I'm like, I knew the date.
So the...
Like we said, awesome match.
Yes, definitely.
Undisputed
Era got involved.
Mm-hmm. They knocked the ref out. Adam Cole knocked the ref out accidentally by
kind of
pushing
expected.
Johnny Gargano into him. And then...
The way the match is going, I definitely thought Adam Cole was going to win.
I thought he was going to win too. And then when he didn't, I was like, I'm okay with this. But I really wanted to see Adam Cole as the NXT champion.
Yeah.
I really like Adam Cole. Like I said, he reminds me of Shawn Michaels. And I really liked Shawn Michaels. He's like one of my all-time favorite, like, greatest wrestlers ever. And I love his stuff. Amazing, amazing, amazing things. And so Adam Cole kind of reminds me of that. And I think that's why I'm such a big fan of him. Is just due to the fact that his style of wrestling is very similar to Shawn Michaels. And I don't know. I like his character and stuff.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good character.
So, I don't know. I wanted him to win, though.
So, I guess we kind of gave it away. Johnny Gargano won.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano won.
He is your new NXT champion.
He deserves it, man. I mean, he's working his butt off since forever, and he deserves it.
Well, again, a lot of these guys down on NXT are just awesome, and if they were, there's several of them, if they were champion, I wouldn't be, like, going, oh, I can't believe he's champion.
No.
I want Adam to get called up during the shake-up, and Undisputed Era will be fine as a three-way. They kind of showed that a little bit.
I know. That was going to be the thing I was going to talk about.
We talked about it. We talked about him.
I want Adam Cole to go up and split away from Undisputed Era. He would be fine up on the main roster. He would do amazing, great things. Don't put him on 205 Live.
We actually talked about, and that's the one thing that worries me with some of these wrestlers is if they move and then they move to something like 205
the
Live.
The only reason I could see them putting on 205 Live is because they're so big at NXT and they're like, okay, well then maybe they'll draw some people in to watch 205 Live because we have Adam Cole on here, we have Johnny Gargano on here. And so...
Well, I could see him doing it just because some of the wrestlers they have up on the main roster right now, they don't use.
It would make me mad.
And so they would use, Johnny Gargano over on 205 Live to, like you said, possibly draw some people in.
It would suck.
But I hope they don't do that.
Don't do it.
I do think that either one of these guys could go up. I think both Gargano and Adam Cole are good enough.
I really want to see Adam Cole called up in the shake-up. I'm not going to lie.
I think it would be cool if Adam Cole went up now that, he did not win this championship.
And you did kind of see that rift between Undisputed Era and Adam Cole tonight where he was like, the whole reason you were out here was so I could win. And then you couldn't even do that right.
Yes, definitely. I think that him going up, he could fight Andrade. I think it would be awesome.
It would be amazing. I would 100%. Ooh. What about Adam Cole and, like, Seth Rollins? I think that'd be a cool match. Maybe that's just me being a fan of both. But I think that'd be a cool match.
Probably you being a fan of both.
I think that'd be a cool match. Anybody else? Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins would be kind of cool. Kind of neat.
Yeah. Candice LeRae comes out to celebrate with Gargano, which, was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was neat. Like,
then you have...
He went out into the crowd where his family was, and he put up a tweet on Twitter, and he was like, you guys, I'm so excited. My dad is going to be able... His health is going to allow him to come to TakeOver to watch me hopefully win the vacant NXT Championship. So, he put up that tweet. Yeah.
I think he'd be great with anyone. I think there's a lot of these NXT wrestlers that would do a good job with anyone.
Agreed.
They would work excellent with just about anybody they put them in there with.
Agreed.
So
then he walks.
Gargano's walking backwards up the ramp.
It's so funny.
And Ciampa comes walking out.
Ciampa comes out out from the back, and the crowd is like, "Ooh!" And then he goes. He's right behind me, isn't he? He's right behind me. He's like, I've been through this enough times. Whether he's hitting me upside the head with a crutch or whatever the deal may be, he's right behind me, isn't he? And then he turns around and Ciampa gives him a big hug and he congratulates him. And then that's the way we go off the
Awesome
air.
way to end the show, I thought.
I did
thought
too.
it was
I was
cool.
hoping they'd bring Ciampa out.
This whole show was one of the best shows that I probably have ever seen for wrestling.
It kind of makes me wonder if when Ciampa comes back, if they will end up doing the DIY thing and bring DIY back just with everything that he has dealt with. And the fact that they ended it like this, it's like they can't be rivals after this, you know? Like, that was supposed to be the end of the story, the end of Ciampa versus Gargano. That was going to be the last chapter in their book, was going to be at TakeOver New York.
Yeah.
Tonight. That's what it was supposed to be. Triple H said that's what it was supposed to be on NXT.
I feel like most of the roster would do great with anyone if they didn't wrestle the same people for weeks at a time. We get tired of...
Baron Corbin.
We've
Baron Corbin.
We've talked about that too, which is why I think they need to expand and use the roster they have. You know, this Mojo Rawley doing his looking in the mirror.
I don't even know where they're going with that.
And like, you know, you've seen him a couple times now, and what's he done?
Absolutely.
Feel wrestling the same person every night on house shows. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think they need to mix some stuff up. I think they would have more fan interest. People would be, you know, they could build storylines better that way too, where they're not doing it every night over and over and over again. I think that they would make, if they mix stuff up, then I think it would make things a little bit better and a little bit smoother.
Yeah. So that is how they ended TakeOver. I thought it was a great way to end it with Ciampa coming out to congratulate Gargano. And then they, Candice, Gargano, and Ciampa, they were all standing there left hugging each other at the end. And I thought it was a really good, it was a really good feel-good moment. I don't know why that was so difficult to say. So I thought it was great. The last two comments were one wasn't enough space. LOL. It's okay.
Oh, how do you think that? Oh, I got you. You need to put one of two.
How
and
do
then
you
two
think
of two.
the wrestlers? And then the next one is feel wrestling the same person every night on house shows.
I don't know. You think some of them probably get tired of it.
Well, and then if some of them have chemistry, like, you know, Charlotte and Becky Lynch, we're going to go back to this because this is what I've seen the last week or so, was that they've had a whole bunch of matches for the SmackDown Women's Championship on live shows. And, you know, they work really well in the ring together. There's no doubt in my mind that they absolutely 100% work so well together because they have worked together so much. And so they're, like, comfortable with wrestling each other night in and night out. But I mean, yeah, you could see that two different ways where they're like, okay, well, this is cool because I've wrestled you so many times that we mesh together really, really well and we make great matches happen. And then the other side of the story would be, you know, oh, I'm tired of wrestling the same person week after week. You know, we do mesh together really well, but I'd just like to try something new and, you know, wrestle with somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, always, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And do what you feel.
I think that some of them would probably want to wrestle somebody else.
Yeah. So.
Again, I think it'd make, you know, better storylines if they wrestled other people.
Yeah. So that was all of TakeOver, and like we said, it was amazing TakeOver. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm really, really excited for WrestleMania. Anybody else? Because I'm really excited.
It's going to be hard to top what happened tonight.
Oh, sorry. Becky Lynch winning the title at WrestleMania will top
It's
my
still,
entire
it's going to be hard to top what happened
I
tonight.
mean, this is really, really good. But, like, Becky Lynch winning will, like, be the highlight of, like, my next 6 months.
Yeah.
So. You know, it's that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow. We will have something about the Hall of Fame.
Can't wait to sit here for 7 to 8 hours straight. Yeah, no. So we will be done watching a 7 to 8 hour show, and then we will hop on here, and you can watch another, you know, hour, maybe 2 hour show. Depends. You know. Hour 45 minutes. We gotta have a lot to talk about. Outcomes of matches. Where we think they could go from there. You know, it'll be fun.
Thanks, Lit Vines. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hope
we always
to
love
see
when
you
you come
again
in.
here in the next couple days.
Yeah. You know,
Again,
if you're
we
available,
will do
you can stop back by for our WrestleMania stream.
Yeah, we're gonna do a stream tomorrow on Hall of Fame. And then we will do, of course, the WrestleMania stream on
WrestleMania
Sunday.
after show. I'm so
And then we'll be back again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to do
for
our
our
regular shows
It'll
of Raw.
Suck because like then I won't have any
SmackDown.
wrestling to watch during the week. I'll just have to
And-
rewatch WrestleMania on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until you have no idea how many times I rewatched the Royal Rumble when Becky won, like after the fact. I watched it like at least 5 times.
Just because you put it in slow motion.
No, I didn't.
It's like, oh, she won.
I watched it in French or
so now
something.
you're watching another
I
language.
watched it in French one time, and then I watched it in English the other 4 times. So being well rounded. That's what I'm doing.
Working on your French, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
That's when they're talking in French, and then they go Becky Lynch. Okay, cool. I know what you're talking about there.
We'll be back tomorrow night for the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I'll be back Sunday for the WrestleMania.
I'm so excited.
Our normal deal
I keep
is...
rewatching too to see if I can see myself in Becky's entrance. Hashtag life goal. That'd be me though. That would be me though. I go to an event, I'm like, woohoo! Now I gotta go rewatch the footage 70 times to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna screenshot it and I'm gonna start like zoom in and say, look, there I am. You can see me on TV.
We stream
that's
every
funny.
Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT. Again, we'll be streaming tomorrow and Sunday.
Really excited.
Tomorrow's Hall of Fame. Sunday is...
The one other thing, sorry to interrupt you. There was one other thing, obviously we talked about this in the beginning. Kushida signed with NXT. Super duper cool. And then there are 2 inductors for Hall of Fame that have been announced. Jimmy Hart is going to... Can we be inducted into the Hall of Fame for like doing this?
Yeah, because we get like 5 people that come in and watch us.
It's okay, we're big enough. But Jimmy Hart is inducting Honky Tonk Man, and Hulk Hogan is inducting Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yes.
So now I don't know who they're gonna do for the Hart Foundation because my first thought was Jimmy Hart, and now I have no idea.
No clue.
I'm very curious to see who they have induct people because I legit have no idea who they're gonna choose because I think Greg Valentine would have been a good one for Honky Tonk Man because they worked together for quite a long time, and then Jimmy Hart for Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
Would have made sense to me.
Yep.
But yeah.
We talked about that.
Nah. Yeah, that's what I said. But she's gonna be accepting the award for
And how
her
emotional?
dad.
How emotional would that be to try and, do the
Induct them
whole
and
thing
then
give a speech about
her dad.
her dad?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I have no idea. It's not like you have, the British Bulldog or,
Yeah.
someone who can induct them because they're dead,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So I don't know. We'll have to just kind of see. I'm curious to hear speeches and stuff tomorrow. And then Sunday, of course, is WrestleMania, and I'm really excited for that. I mean,
Yep.
my goodness. And then my week of fun will be over, and it's back to regular, normal.
Yeah, just regular streaming that we do. That
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
like, this is like the week of fun, though, because we got to stream we're streaming 7 days. 7 days this week, and then, like, now we only get to stream for 3 days.
Yep. That's the way it
And
goes,
it's, like,
man.
garbage.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
But
it's okay.
if you
And then
haven't
there'll be another
subscribed,
pay-per-view in 3 weeks.
make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, so you get notified when we go live. We will be back tomorrow night. Hope to see you there. With that, peace out.
Peace.